Travis Wayne Goodsell. For those of you who've been following me, know that I had to do this video because Holland didn't die yesterday. And so those of you who aren't following, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? We go back in time to the 10th of August, 2007. Apostle of the non-Trinitarian living Jesus Christ died. James E. Faust. And I'm the only one who knew of the significance of that. Because being born and raised in the covenant, in the Church of Jesus Christ, non-Trinitarian, of Latter-day Saints, I became an anthropologist of the ancient Middle East. And so those of you who watched the show episode video, yes, I'm a celebrity, 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago, in which I put in the description below, because I talked about it in the video, of the Assyrian king who consulted his priests with their Urim and Thummim for the signs in the heavens to ensure that it was going to be a good omen to go to war against a country in the Far East. And when in the midst of the battle, the non-Trinitarian Jesus comes from outer space in the midst of the war. It is a pattern symbol of the latter days. You can't make this up. It's recorded in the Assyrian documents, and that's the link that I gave you. Proxy even got a wife, because in order to be king you have to have a wife. That lucky bastard. Of course, he was sacrificed at day's end. To appease the solar deity that indicated the death of the king with a solar eclipse. And so, because I had learned about this, but not a single astronomer or scholar of the ancient world knew to use science to run the test to see if it is legitimate, they just assumed that the ancients were superstitious, paranoid, and crazy, and unintelligent. So, no, when Faust died, this was after I became an anthropologist of the ancient Middle East. I had deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. I had deciphered the learning of the Egyptians and the language of the Egyptians, which is different than the learning of the Greeks and the language of the Egyptians, which is the current Egyptology. They just don't bother to tell you this, other than you're supposed to catch on when they say they deciphered the Rosetta Stone. But when they claim they know Egyptian and they got everything figured out, they're lying to you. It's kind of stupid. I guess they're trying to claim that their job is legitimate so that they can maintain a living working for whatever university. But nonetheless, Joseph Smith is true. He's a translator. That's the main story theme here. But Faust, because I caught on to this, is a religious leader, not a king. And so take a guess as to which other celestial body would be for religion. Yeah, the moon. And so, yeah, sure enough, there was a lunar eclipse not too long after, on the 28th of August, 2007. And so I thought, oh, well, cool. Just like the Assyrian story, but for religion with a moon instead of government with a sun. So I knew, I understood. I thought it was kind of cool. And then Hinckley dies. Dum, dum, dum. And sure enough, yep, lunar eclipse. And so, this is strange. This ancient understanding and practice is being carried out with prophets of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Strange. And so the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, after Hinckley died, came at me full force. They've been trying to destroy me because I'm an anthropologist of the ancient Middle East. We can't have science in the church. That would prove Joseph Smith true as a translator, because they've spent so many decades proving Joseph Smith is a fraud and removing translator from the secret loyalty oaths every Mormon gives in conference. But I'm just a naive Mormon boy. Didn't know better that I was in the great and abominable church of Lucifer, of the inverted pentagram on the keystone of the doors of the Salt Lake Temple. And so I'm locked up, hidden from the world, like a Benedai. No trial, all the laws of the land violated, and I disappeared for 6 years of my life as I was tortured and they attempted to murder me. I have the financial receipt of the hit person who did that. Nancy B. Cohn was paid by the church to have me disappeared, tortured, and attempted to be murdered. It is a fact. It is not a spiritual witness feeling. And so 6 years after, I'm miraculously freed. 3 key people retired, which paved the way for my release. And to everyone's horror, no! And so this was 2014. And what do Mormons remember about 2014? Give you a hint. It also included 2015. Has to do with signs in the heavens. Yeah. Sun shall be darkened, moon turned to blood, stars fall from heaven. The Tetrad. With Perry, Packer, Scott biting the big one. Yeah. Again, lunar eclipses, deaths of prophets of the Church of Non-Trinitarian Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I think they need to clarify that and make the name longer, Nelson. I'm a member of the Church of Non-Trinitarian Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Change the website name. It's confusing Christians of Trinitarian Jesus. That could be my thing for the October conference if the church wasn't plotting on destroying us and getting their kingdom back. And so, yeah, I'm like, wow, that's wild. But I didn't make the connection to the latter days. It was just lunar eclipses, prophets' deaths. And yes, as I indicated, there's solar eclipses involved too. But I didn't find out about that until later on, after Monson's death. And because that's when I decided to go back to all of the presidents of the church to see if lunar eclipses were for all of them. Because, yes, Monson too. And Monson was a bigger deal because that's Revelation chapter 12, verse 3, or 4. The Joseph Smith translation includes it as 3. Or 4. It's still 4. Yeah. Stars fall from the tail of the dragon. Whichever verse it's in. That was Monson. Quadranted meteor showers. Tail of Draco the dragon. And sure enough, it's lunar eclipse. And so I went back and did lunar eclipses for all the presidents of the church. Still have the playlist, or the file, in my drive here. And backed up, in case any hackers think they're going to be clever. And then that led me to solar eclipses. And so I thought I'd run the test. Sure enough, solar eclipses for every president of the church. Wow. And so sun darkened, moon turned to blood. And then thus, stars falling from heaven. Those have to be on the day of death. Those cannot be a month plus or minus, like the solar and lunar eclipses can. And so this is all science-based. Testing, using astronomy as my measurement standard. Signs in the heavens. And it's an established fact. I created a whole chart graph of it and did the videos for you, and nobody cared. And so 2021 and 2022 come along. I'm the only one in the universe who knew that was also a tetrad. But astronomers didn't acknowledge it because there was a partial lunar eclipse in there. But sure enough, it's the same pattern. Sun shall be darkened, moon turn to blood, stars fall from heaven. And so I was thinking, is this going to be similar to the 2014-2015, where we're going to see prophets of the Church of Non-Trinitarian Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? I don't even think it can fit in a title. Having too many words on YouTube. Oh my hell. And so nobody died. And so, that was a big missed opportunity by God to prove to Mormons they're in the false church. But nonetheless, this year comes along. And at the Saturday session of April General Conference, they announced that Holland had been watching porn and is about to die. If you've not been paying attention to the church news, and especially if you've not been following me, you missed that Holland has been pushing that porn is a killer virus. And so, yes, that's why there's a big push in Utah to ban porn, which ended up banning the Bible. And because it banned the Bible, people were going, we're going to ban the Book of Mormon. And so they backed off and allowed it back into the schools. But they still went after the porn law for spying on adults who are watching porn, creating a blacklist, a porn list. And so Pornhub cancels. Nobody can watch it in Utah. And then just last week, at the end of last week, the Texas judge shot down the Utah law. so we can watch porn again. The Constitution is saved. Oh, dear God. But yeah, it's Lucifer's doctrine. Cover up and hide, women. Be ashamed, or we'll shame you. When I've been trying to let you know that women are symbolic of the latter days and of religion and its rituals. But nope, the church wants to shame you. And so yes, I make the joke now about Urim and Thummim and the posterity planted in the promised land by sending the Ark of the Covenant into the Jordan River. I guess nobody catches on, or it's too complicated because nobody's taught sex ed. It's abstinence only, no touchy, no thinky, no looky, out of sight, out of mind. We can just turn it off. But anyway, we're straying from the topic at hand. So, Hales died. And I didn't see a lunar eclipse tied to Hales. So I was going, alright. I mean, yeah, it's with Revelation chapter 12 stuff, but no lunar eclipse. However, yeah, Revelation 12. And then, as we're here in the final days, 1 week before the Abomination of Desolation, I noticed a pattern again. A mathematical pattern with astronomy. On the 21st of August, 2017, the big first day of darkness for the latter days, in the first year of the latter days that everybody's been prophesying about. Because 33 days after that total solar eclipse over the United States of America, that would begin to write to everyone around the world the Paleo-Hebrew alphabet letter A over the United States of America. Solar eclipses cast their shadow on the earth, creating the location and the day and the hour of his coming. And everybody's thinking non-Trinitarian or Trinitarian Jesus, and they miss it, because it's the learning of the Jews, you dumbasses. It's the Jewish scriptures, it's the Jewish learning. And they use science. And so, yes, the sun is writing on the face of the earth for the 3 days of darkness the letter A in Paleo-Hebrew. And the finishing stroke is the crossroads of Emmanuel, showing Mormons where Zion is to be located and who the name of their Christ is, with the first and last letter of the Paleo-Hebrew alphabet. And so, despite trying to let Mormons know, and Mormons, as again another Mormon this morning, is in denial, wanting to be a mean girl. Yeah, Mormons would rather die and drink Drano than be saved and save their cute little granddaughter. So frustrating. But, okay, so 21st of August to the 23rd of September 2017, the big date, the coming of the Jewish Christ, the start of the latter days, his reign and ministry to Mormons, as we come to find out, because everything has to do with the Church of Non-Trinitarian Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. as the great and abominable church. Oops. Sorry, Mormons. Spoiler alert. This is why. And so 33 days. That's the difference. Hales dies 8 days after. And so that's what I've been telling you this past week. Pay attention. Let's find out. No, nobody died. At least the church news isn't telling us anybody died. Maybe they're on vacation, aren't going to report it until 2 weeks later, after we're all dead. But I was waiting to see if there's going to be a reverse pattern, similar to what I saw with the sun shall be darkened, moon turned to blood, stars fall from heaven, and the lunar eclipses for Faust and Hinckley. I noticed a reverse pattern that was involved. And so I thought, okay, well, it's 9/11. That's the date Joseph Smith has been telling us for 200 years, but nobody wants to study their scriptures. And nobody wants to listen to me, as Nelson's keeping it a sacred secret from you. Amos 3:7, he's supposed to tell you. He's not telling you. Who's telling you instead? Me. I'm telling you. I'm the one fulfilling Amos 3:7. Have you not caught on yet? Prophet, seer, revelator, translator. That's too complicated for you? Learning of the Jews. I think that's where you're getting confused. You're thinking non-Trinitarian Jesus. And so, the solar eclipse, number 2, over Utah. There was an earthquake in Utah, in that location, just the other day, 3.7. But it was at Delta, Utah. But 14 October 2023. And yes, it's in Scripture. The 3 days of darkness are in Scripture. Not just saying 3 days of darkness or 3 hours of darkness for the Trinitarian, non-Trinitarian Jesus on the cross, which has to do with the signs in heaven of the crossroads of the Christ, Emmanuel. But it's 33 days after the date Joseph Smith warned us would be the day that shall burn as an oven, the abomination of desolation. September 11th, 2023. Next week, Monday. And so if Joseph is a false prophet, that's him, not me. I'm just revealing what Joseph Smith has been warning you about, because Nelson failed. He dropped the ball. He put a hole in his bucket. And so I'm picking up the ball and I'm running into the end zone with it. And nobody wants to go with me to Zion. I've got stuff that needs to go, the Egyptian gold plates, and you don't want them? You don't care? You want non-Trinitarian Jesus. Did you not even read your Book of Mormon? Non-Trinitarian Jesus comes to Nephi in Bountiful and says, show me the records. Here's the records. Where's Samuel the Lamanite? And you think that you don't need to study, you don't need to keep the records? And that when non-Trinitarian Jesus comes, he won't ask you for the records and won't say, hey, where's the records of Travis? Did I not speak to Travis? Do you think you're going to get away with that? And then you're going to go, well, he did have a YouTube channel, but YouTube was destroyed, and so we don't have access to his videos. Oh no, what do we do? And there was over 3,000 on the one channel, and I think there was over 3,000 on the other too, by the way. And so we don't have the opportunity to download them. It's too big of a file. It's trillions or terabytes of file space. literally. And so, yeah, oops. Your loss, because you don't want to believe. And so, yes, 9/11, 33 days later, 14 October 2023. And so 8 days before was yesterday. Nothing. And so, yeah, now we're waiting for Saturday, 9/9. 9/9. Nelson turns 99 on 9/9. And then, yes, there's signs in the heavens for that day as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But there's always a spiritual and a physical component to things. Religious and government component. And so 9/9, which is in the Jewish calendar, it's 9/11 this year. When 9/11 occurred in 2001, it's the same day. So for the Jews, they remember 9/11 on 9/9 on Saturday, when Nelson turns 99 on 9/9. And so, yes, it's Shua in Hebrew, 9, with the added thing to it, but Teshua, which is the death sign of the cross. So, yeah, I'm really hoping that God does his own work as he says he's going to do, because the Mormons aren't listening to me. So, there you have it. Easy breezy cover girl. Right? Everybody understands me. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Nobody's confused. You got your Urim and Thummim. I gave it to you. What did you do with it? We've got technology now that allows us to take snapshots of our Urim and Thummim. That's incredible. It's awesome. Nobody believes.